Good morning, everyone. My name is Kathleen Prokop. I live in Hemet, California. Today, I just would like to share with you about finances and trusting in God. I was trying to relocate, but it didn't happen. God took me to Idaho and then back to Montana because I was intending to go east side in Tennessee, and I ended up in North Dakota. And I decided to come home or go to Texas, but it didn't. So I researched Dallas, Texas, and there's in Texas, and there were coronavirus. So God led me home to the United States. It's the openness, and then I'm driving to the forest. It's the tall woods and nice rivers. And I just wish that there's rivers here too in California. There is a river duck in San Jacinto, but right now it has no water. Hopefully, that someday Riverside County will decide to fill it up with water because Dominicani used to be open space, and now there is a lake there, and it's water distribution. And there's also a lake in Paris, and it's for fishing, camping, swimming, and it also distribute water. There is a small lake called Angler Lake or Little Lake, and it's good for fishing. And when Robert was with me, we used to go camping there and fishing, and I would be in the bonfire with the dog, and Robert would be fishing, and he would come back with fish, and I would cook the fish for lunch. That was really nice and very memorable. Well, today, because of my travels, I don't have any more finances until next month. And so I thought that I'd like to share with you about how should we respond to trials of no more funds available until next month. God is good because He allowed us to have income on these trials. People that are not working, people that are not able to work in the United States, it's taken care of. It's either SSI or SSDI. So, and then also the government took care also because SSI, if you're blind, you can make like over 2,000 a month to supplement your income. I don't know what blind people can do. And for SSDI, they can make in 2025 1620. So anyway, what brings difficult finance? The United States, in my studies, I learned that the United States have 60% reserve for not only United States but for the whole world. And then I learned last night that because of economy or trading in exchange, it's good idea for a country to use gold as a reserve in addition to I don't know cash maybe that's being used and traffic all the time in buying and exchanging. Is it that the gold is uh, not easily perish, and it's visible and it's scarce, uh, meaning to say it's not really scarce. I do believe there's a whole bunch of gold minerals, but it's just that maybe people that are consumers, they have gold earrings, they have gold rings, gold necklace. But in economy, it is stored as bullion. Okay. So now that we are uh, how is that, secured in knowing that the United States is still superpower, that's why I learned in school, and that the peg of a country which uh, relies on a anchor, United States, for their exchange rates industry and currency. And I'm so happy that I live in the United States. So now, why does a financial difficulties come? Although a country like United States is not. Well, I I connected that because of Bible. A lot of people right now, we are Christians. Probably out of the population, zero, but there is non-believer. God made those provision for us Christians so we may know how to live a good life, good righteous life. And uh and then I'm so happy also for those Christians already that could be friends with. And I know you may be thinking right now, then who are the friends of those non Christians that God allowed to roam around? Well, they are probably temptators. They are probably giving bad advice to people, and they are probably trying to make people behave irrationally or something like making the wrong decision, although they know that you need to know a good, correct answer, they would give you the wrong information. Well, I do believe that those people are not in our realm. But those people that are on our realm, which I give a value of sleeping, although they are top goal questions, sturdy, and they always need to get back into the right track. Also, that's why there's financial difficulties. When I do believe people, Christians, people go off the right track, they are affected financially, maybe, hopefully not sick, because although during the end times, the Bible said in Matthew 24 that uh, there will be famine, pestilence, rumors of war, and earthquake in diverse places. Well, I come to watch a movie. It's a movie. LA is in a diverse places, and in the movie they had like 7.2 Richter scale earthquake, and a lot of tidal wave happening. Big waves, and uh, those probably can only be overcome with uh, technology, maybe, or how we react to tidal waves. I can't see a tidal wave, but the tidal wave I saw in the movie, it was huge. It was high, and people are just running, and it appears like someone floating, you know. And it, I come to a decision that God tests people that are a higher temptator receptacle. So, so anyway, uh, that could cause financial problem because it affects economy. The deficit, what I call the deficit is that, for example, back in 2023, the deficit was set for 1.52 trillion. And what that is a cut. You cut a deficit, and then you would project how much debt the government would loan with bonds, mortgages, cars, constructions, and then there's a projected surplus. So that is like the deficit equals debt plus surplus or something like that. So when the government say cut the deficit, they're wanting to say budget the deficit. So when you are budgeting the deficit, like in 2023 was 1.52 trillion, they will make a pie or a graph. And if last year's uh, deficit was less than this year's deficit, then the pie would be bigger because there will be more budget cuts, right? So if there is a new agency, then you have to make more deficits so it will fit in the pie. But my goal is I want to see is that there's more consumers and we are trying to limit the use of cash, assets. So I think we need to have a cheaper, more economical prices. There's lots of resources in the United States, but in minerals, in hydro energy, in gold, in paper money. But the paper money is only printed so much, and sometimes they retire paper money and they would print more paper money. And if a state has uh, 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 budgeted and watch out and requires uh, more demand, that means they're expecting more supply, more population in, and with that population, they need to find uh, how much money should a household could be made because it's not like a free flow. It has to be organized and it has to be planned. And that's the reason why there's planning for 1,100 years, 1,000 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. And those with a projection of inflation mean to say prices. So now, as citizens, consumers, we are uh, we have money that we have every month, either through work or benefits or inheritance, whatever. And with those monies, we need to be careful on how we disperse them. Because if we act like the prodigal son who spent his fortune and then went and sleep in the where the pigs are and realize, my father's house, servants uh, have a better uh, eating, a living situation. So he went home, and the father welcomed him happily and has made a party. Well, we, the United States, is superpower, right? And we did it in 1960, in 92, in 2014, and now in 2022, we did a superpower. And we are so blessed because God looked upon the United States as a country who is not selfish. We help those third world countries. And hopefully there are official governments are doing the right thing, not only thinking of their own family wealth, but also for the wealth of the United States, because they are not there for them to get rich. They are there to ensure that the United States maintain its resources, its population, and redistricting and getting more boundaries. So that is the reason why sometimes we have more money, sometimes we don't. How did you get involved and call your legislatures, your political party, Republican, and let them know what sort of economy you like to see in the United States. The Bible said, and this is the end times, that there will be one world order it with the beast system, and the beast system is new ways of thinking in economy, in business, in school books, and how we how we respond to those needs 100% ideology receptible, because our mind sometimes it would automatically trigger to a negative response. For us, we need to overcome and think of a positive so that we are able to project a good defense on the problem. In the Bible, in Matthew 6:33, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So that's what we did. We asked questions. We persevere as we increase and as we grow in numbers, and God allow us to live as friends, not knowing who we really are, but we know that we have a faith in God and know that we are going to be rescued and redeemed. Okay? So we are just like putting ourselves as Boaz and Ruth, because we are widower, and we maintain our integrity, and we maintain our faith. But the enemies, they say bad things about us, and because of the war, uh, good people also may say bad things about us, because we are just like protected by God, and we feel we are special people, those that are part of a marriage cycle in community. And in Isaiah 41:10, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. This provides reassurance and comfort during hard times. This is very assuring. If you have nothing at all, that you say, God cannot do anything about my situation, but He can give you peace. He can give you assurance in Isaiah 41:10. So we cannot be living a fearful life. I look at the news on television, and this girl was just murdered, found on a highway, and they were talking how she was and her lifestyle was. I say, is that really true? Is that girl really that kind alive? Because she's a woman. She was married once. Her, when she was married, I'm sure she had enemies, because God promised men, don't know what kind of men, depending on their skills and talents and intelligence, are promised things to work on earth, and working along with other questions, you know. And so maybe somewhere in there, God put a stupor on the economy or whatever, and the people that wanting to grab. Don't worry, don't grab. You may have different duties in the future, but God is so good, and He is going to maintain a steady leadership in our home and guiding us to follow the steps that He had for us. He was all alone a long time ago, trying to think and plan. And so now we are part of those past, future, present. So now you know that uh, in Psalms 27, in chapter 20, verse 7, it says, "Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God." Nothing wrong in trusting horses. They give us ride, they give transportation, and in the farm there are work horses, and those are like the resources that God has given us. But don't forget, no matter how powerful you are, have become, God is the resource of our strength, our life, and our moving forward to a better future. I myself, because I used my money in my travels, came home just barely enough to pay my bills, and I thought it was because I budgeted how much money I should spend, and I spent my insurance money. And so now I don't have money for car registration. So I have to non up my car in September, but hopefully I can up it in October because I have to go to my graduation in October 16 in Arizona and I need to drive. So that's all I'm sharing with you. I also like to request the leadership people that God has moved forward and lift up, change their lifestyle, and make sure that they are in the right leadership. Think of consumers. Think that God put you in there for a purpose. And that purpose is to ensure that our country is being run righteously and fairly and with opportunity of those people that are ready. And those that are not ready, make sure they're okay. You know, because when we have all what we need, uh, we have all the resources, but we don't want to spend all our resources. We do one step at a time. So the only solution is that it's not like lowering our standard, it's that lowering the prices so that instead of 10 people can afford liver, beef liver, 20 people can afford 20 liver. Or even more, 100 people can afford to buy liver, and 100 people can afford to buy rice and vegetables with the resources, financial resources that we have. Because even salary is budgeted in a fiscal, and knowing uh, who and what and so forth. So what we need to do is seek God's kingdom first to ensure and His will is our priority, which is righteousness and not fear. For some reason, even though my life became difficult about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I found peace in my life. But my life got worse. But I'm so trusting that we will be rescued and redeemed. So I'm trying to make changes in my life, and right now I'm so broke. mm, I'm not afraid to ask for assistance, and some say you don't, some say don't answer, but please lift me up in your prayer as I will lift you up as so in prayer that God will meet all your needs. Your needs may be only a car for now, and to ensure you're able to afford to take care of your car while you own the car. A house, maybe, apartment, new shoes, but you need to possibly seek God to guide you. So if you are planning to relocate, I don't think I will now. I just stay here in California because God said I will make California where married people are. You know, us mortals, we stay in California. And as I drove everywhere that I touched, you know, it's wonderful open space. And you know, the population that we have, a lot of open space. It's so wonderful. You know, it's beautiful. The rivers, the trees, the road. I mean, in secluded areas, the road is like not dirt. Is a road, and there's gas station that I can just find and buy gas, and there's food in the gas station, and it's a wonderful place to live in United States. Let's make sure that we stay that way, and we only stay that way when we seek God first. We don't know when we're going to be redeemed. I'm a widow. I do believe that the Bible said that women are made from their husband's rib, and we are the helper of our men. So we need to be rescued. I don't know when. Hopefully that it will be soon because we are now, see my white hair, 66 years old I am. So I've been a widow now for over 4 years. It's been a tough life, and with my limited income, and I had a part-time job, and right now I'm trying to finish my school, and I'm still got my thorn on my flesh, and it's sometimes I say it's a blessing because I feel that if I didn't have the thorn on my flesh, maybe I wouldn't grow up the right way. So I thank you, I thank God, and I thank you for your friendships. And please remember to pray and go to church and live a good life, and try to fight the temptation and trust in God and trust in your decision. Your decision matters because it affects your life. So make the right decision and live up your life, commit your life to God, as I do. A lot of big talk. It's hard to do, but God will supply your needs. Thank you. What?